Let me tell you something that might sting. You're not supposed to do it all yourself. And the longer you try, the more you're slowing yourself down and pushing people away. I know because that used to be me. I used to wear self sufficiency like a badge of honor, like, hey, look at me, look at all that I can do until it became a burden. If you've been carrying too much, holding it all together, and wondering why it feels so heavy, this episode is for you. Be sure to subscribe on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, wherever you get your podcasts, and on social for clips throughout the week. Welcome to the Say Yes Experience. I'm your host, Jessica Rector. If you've been here before, welcome back. If this is your first time with us, welcome, friend. This episode is sponsored by Breakspace. Join the career break and sabbatical community that helps you plan your pause, rediscover life, and return to a career you love at beyondabreak.com. That's beyondabreak.com. Now let's get real for a minute. Most of us grew up in a hustle culture that said if you're strong, you'll handle it all on your own. If you were really capable, you wouldn't need help. So we learned to juggle everything: our careers, family, relationship, household items, challenges, and our dreams. And we convince ourselves that asking for help is admitting failure. But here's what I've discovered: trying to do it all by yourself doesn't make you powerful, it makes you burned out. And letting someone help you, that's not weakness, it's connection, trust, and real strength. We're unpacking the stories we tell ourselves about asking for support, and I'll show you why letting others in might just be the smartest, strongest, and most generous thing that you can do for yourself. Welcome to day 4 of 100 Days to Say Yes experiences. Let's talk about what happens when you finally stop doing it alone. Let's go. If you were capable, you'd be doing it all and you'd keep it all perfectly balanced. Does that resonate with you? I know that I thought that for so long, that I needed to do it all myself to show that I was strong and that I could do it all myself, to almost prove to anybody who would ask that I had it together, that I had the answers, that I had it all figured out. And I didn't, but it was all about the perception that I was trying to share and make sure that other people knew. Meanwhile, I felt this stress and this pressure on myself. I remember when I was 7 months pregnant and my brother asked if I wanted help putting together the baby's crib because the guy was not involved in my life at this point. And I thought, no, I got it. I can do it all. I don't need help. I was 7 months pregnant, and I thought it was so kind of him to offer, but my instinct was, no, I got it. Thank you, though. And as I was putting that crib together, literally big old belly hunched over the side, trying to screw things in with a hex wrench, I literally thought, why did I not take him up on that? He was nice enough to offer, at least if nothing else, we could have done it together, because there I was sitting at my place trying to put not just the crib together, but when you're putting the four sides of the crib together, one side has to be perpendicular to another side. So I'm holding one side with my legs, it in between my legs, trying to screw it in. It was a mess. It was just a disaster. And I realized in that moment, I should have just said yes. Yes, I want help. Yes, I need help. However, I felt like I needed to figure it out. I needed to do it, not to prove to anybody else, but literally just to prove to myself that I could. Did I do it all by myself putting that crib together? Yes. Do I wish I would have just said yes because it would have been faster and easier with someone's help? Yes, I do. So thinking you have to do everything yourself is just a lie, especially when someone offers to help. Yes, 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 every time, because if people didn't want to do it, they wouldn't offer to do it. And then even after B-Man was born, I thought I had to do it all and do it all perfectly. And I know a lot of moms out there might be feeling that exact same way, that you have to breastfeed, you've got to make sure that the baby is sleeping well and that he's fed and that he's bathed and that you have to bathe every single day and that, all these things, they have to look cute. And oh my gosh, if my baby cries in public, oh, that's going to make me look like I'm a bad mom. All these lies and these stories that we tell ourselves that just are not true. And I remember when B was a baby, he didn't latch on. So it was really challenging initially to breastfeed. And little did I know, when I went back to the hospital for his 2-day checkup, he'd actually lost almost 40% of his body weight. So much so that I told the nurse, no, I think your scale's wrong. He hasn't lost weight. He's been eating, but I didn't know that really he wasn't latching on and he wasn't eating. I thought he was. And so the doctor told me, you either have to supplement with formula or he's going to go back into the hospital because he's lost so much weight. And I remember leaving feeling devastated, like I was doing something wrong, that there was something wrong with my body because I wasn't producing enough milk. And I called that same brother and I explained it to him. And he said, well, it seems like a no-brainer, Jessica. Now, this brother had also his wife had just had a baby, so their baby was 4 months old. And he said, it sounds like a no-brainer. Either supplement with formula or he goes into the hospital. What's wrong with formula? But it was just this pressure and the stress that I was putting on myself, that if my baby was not being breastfed fully, that I'm not a good mom, that my baby isn't going to have what he needs. And they always say it's like liquid gold. And so I didn't want to supplement. I thought, no, my baby needs the best. But I didn't want him going into the hospital more than I didn't want him. I wanted to give him formula more than I wanted him to go into the hospital. Want your event to do more than just motivate? Want it to transform? Hi, I'm Jessica Rector, CEO of the Say Yes Experience, #1 best-selling author, and the keynote speaker and experience creator companies call when they are serious about change. I don't just speak, I'm known to move people. From the main stage to custom Say Yes Experience team building events, your group will crush comfort zones, ignite connection, and fuel mental wellness and peak potential, all while having the kind of fun that actually sticks. Whether it's a leadership summit, company offsite, or all hands meeting, we bring immersive, energizing experiences that unlock what's next for your people and business. So if you're ready to ditch burnout and lead your team into bold action and a Say Yes culture, book me now at jessicarector.com or email me at jessica@jessicarector.com. And hey, subscribe to the Say Yes Experience podcast right here. It's where the movement starts.
You've heard of a bucket list, things you want to do before you die, right? At the Say Yes Experience, we believe in something truly more powerful, the Say Yes bucket list, the things you want to do to truly start living. It's about feeling alive, breaking out of routine, and turning someday into right now. We've created a free Say Yes bucket list template to help you get started, so you can move to ideas to action and start saying yes to light the things that light your fire. So don't wait to truly start living, and download your free template today.
Be sure to subscribe on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, wherever you get your podcasts, and make sure that you share with someone who feels overwhelmed or feel like they need to do everything themselves, because this could be exactly what they need to hear to lighten their load and reduce their stress. And so I gave him formula, but I was still breastfeeding and still pumping, and he wasn't latching on. And so then I went to 100% pumping and feeding him from a bottle. And my body was not producing enough milk. So I remember I literally was pumping for 45 minutes, taking a 15-minute break, pumping again, trying to get my body to produce enough milk. And then A couple weeks later, we went to the doctor again, and I was telling her this routine of mine. And she said, Jessica, this isn't sustainable. You can't keep doing this. And I was like, what do you mean? I'm just trying to provide and feed my baby. And she said, but you're not taking care of you, because all you're doing is you are pumping over and over and over and not giving your body that time to relax in order to produce more milk. And it was as though I needed permission from my doctor to say, Jessica, you can't keep doing this. Like, I was completely exhausted. I wasn't sleeping because I was setting my alarm to get up all the time throughout the night to pump to make sure I had milk the next day for my baby. And I was a zombie, and she could see it. And she also knew that that's not helping my baby if I'm not present, active, and engaged either. And so it was almost that I needed that permission from my doctor to say, okay, Jessica, you don't have to live this way. You don't have to show up this way. You're still a good mom. You're still a good person. You're still doing all you can for your baby. And so I had to find other solutions, specifically formula, right? And my son turned out fine, and he's smart, and he's active, and everything's perfect. But it was that pressure and that stress that I had to be a certain way. I had to show up a certain way. My body had to be a certain way, even though there wasn't anything I was or was not doing to keep my body from producing enough milk. And little did I know, my sister also had a baby 5 weeks before I did, and she overproduced. So thankfully, my sister produced enough that she then gave me some of hers to feed my baby. So, yes, my mom was very ecstatic. She had three grandbabies, new grandbabies in a matter of 4 months. And so, but that support that I had throughout that journey with being able to call my brother, to call my sister, to ask for help really was such a massive game changer for me, not just physically, but also emotionally and mentally, because I felt like I was doing it all by myself, having to do it all by myself with not an end in sight. And so sometimes we feel like someone else needs to give us permission in order to not live up to some expectation we have for ourselves or that society puts on ourselves. But really, we just need to give ourselves permission to not have to feel like we've got to do it all, that we have to have all the answers, that we have to know the best way to do it, that we can just do what is best for ourselves, even if that's not the expectation that we have, even if that's not the vision that we hold for ourselves. Let's be honest, life never works out the way we plan. And so, by the end of this episode, I want you to see that asking for help is actually an act of strength and connection and not weakness. And no matter where you are in your life, that you can ask for help, whether it's with a relationship, whether it's with a task, whether it's with work, whether it's with friendships, whether it's with applying for a job, you can ask for help in any realm, and you're not seen as weak. You're not seen as dumb that you don't know. You're not seen as less than. You're not seen as anything but your amazing, awesome self, because you have the courage to ask for help. And I know oftentimes for me, it was this fear, even if it was on a subconscious level, that I would be perceived as incapable or less than or not good enough. But I've come to realize that no one's living my life except for me. And you can't keep running and going and doing, and you can't keep pouring from an empty oil lamp, because you're going to have a breakdown, a meltdown, or a crisis. Like, you are not just going to be able to thrive and live as your best self by thinking you have to go and do and be and do it all yourself. So, in day 4 of 100 Days of Say Yes experiences, I was actually sick. And instead of feeling like I've got to cook for myself, I've got to take care of myself, I've got to get up and get myself water, that all these things I've got to do for myself, I realized that I didn't need to. I have a 12-year-old in the house that can help. And he wants to help. He's super helpful. And so all I had to do was ask the B man to come in here and help. Like, can you bring me a glass of water? Can you pull up the covers on me? Because I just did not even feel good enough to sit up to grab the covers to pull them up on me. And he said, yes, mommy, like, what else can I do? And he would come in and check on me. Okay, he made me soup. You need to eat soup, but I'm not hungry. You need to eat soup, mommy. You got to keep your strength up. So people want to help. Oftentimes, they just don't know how to help. And so when you reach out and let them know, hey, I need help with this, or I need your advice on this, they're more than happy to do it. And one time I really had to rely on a friend for help. You know, my go to specifically when it pertains to B Man is my family. Well, Blaze got hurt at school. I was out of town keynoting at a conference, and my dad was having a colonoscopy, his one time colonoscopy. My sister had taken him to get the colonoscopy. My mom had just had back surgery, so she wasn't able to drive. So it was like this perfect storm. All my family was not available. My brother was over an hour away. And so I had to ask a friend, hey, Blaze was hurt at school and he needs to go to the ER. I know you're at work. Can you help? And she said, absolutely, no problem. And so she took Blaze to the ER. She was in constant contact with me and we resolved it, right? And then I ended up putting something out on social about it. And then I had lots of other friends saying, Jessica, you can call me. I'm happy to help. Make sure that I'm on your list of people that you can call, because in that moment when all my family was occupied, I kept thinking, who can I ask to help? Who can I call that lives relatively close, that maybe works from home, that they can take off a few hours from work, or that works for themselves, that wouldn't mind going and picking up Blaze, that also Blaze knows that he feels comfortable with. And the good news is I found someone, but in putting that out there on social, I also found lots of other people that I can call on, that I can rely on. And oftentimes in those moments when we really need help, emergency, our brain goes blank. It goes, oh my gosh, who can I ask? Who can I call in? Who's going to be there? Because it almost takes something out of us sometimes to ask for help. We don't want to be a burden to someone else. We don't want to inconvenience someone else. We don't want to let down our guard and say, hey, I don't have all the answers. I can't do it myself. And so all those things coming together, but also when it's an emergency, it's almost like that goes out the window, but our mind goes blank on who's around, who would be able to help, who would be free, who would not put up a fight like, this is such an inconvenience. But they're like, yes, I'm happy to help. And our mind goes blank. So I recommend having a list of who those people are. Even if the loved ones are on that list, what about people that if those loved ones, like myself, they weren't available for whatever medical reason, they weren't available? So who else can you rely on? Like backups to the backups to the backups. Because when an emergency hits, your mind may go blank and you don't have any idea, well, who can I rely on? Who can I depend on? And so a good rule of thumb is to ask them ahead of time. If I have an emergency, can I rely on you? Can I depend on you? I had a friend recently reach out and she said, she travels. And so she said, when I'm traveling, can you be one of my emergency contacts? Do you mind? Meaning like she already has a couple, but if something happens and I need someone, can you be one of those people I rely and depend on? I'm like, absolutely. Absolutely. Will you be one for me? And she said, absolutely. So who can you add to your list of people that you can rely on, that you can depend on, that you can ask for help, especially in those emergencies? Because the last thing I want to happen is for there to be an emergency in your life and you don't have that list in order and you to go, who can I call for help? Like I did. My brain was going in overdrive, reaching out to all my family, and all of them couldn't do it. And then my mind went blank. So I don't want your mind to go blank. So have that list available. Put it in a dresser drawer, a desk drawer, over by the coffee maker, wherever you need, that it's easily accessible, but that you know where it is, and not where I know where it is, but I just forgot where I put it. I know that's happened to you before where you're like, I put it somewhere really important, but I forgot where that really important place was. I do that all the time. So put it somewhere where you absolutely know I'll just go and I'll take that out when I need that help. And then think of the everyday people that you can ask for help from, that they're not going to judge you. They're going to answer your call, that they realize that they can't do it all themselves. And so it's not a burden for you to call and ask them for help because they know you can't do it all yourself. And now I've gotten to the place that I ask people for help all the time, whether it's something in my business, asking B to help around the house, or asking a friend for advice. I know I don't know everything. I don't have all the answers. I'm not always right. I need help, whether it's literally a parenting advice or what's a method or a system that works in your business. I ask on social all the time for referrals for things, whether it's a plumber, a landscaper, any kind of thing that, especially house related. I need help and I'm okay with asking for help. But it took me a minute to get to that point, especially pre-Blaze. I was doing it all myself, thinking I needed to do it all myself to let people know that I'm strong, that I'm smart, that I got it together. And then once all the stuff happened with Blaze when he was a baby, I recognized, that was so much stress and pressure I was unknowingly putting on myself. And plus, it was taking way more time and effort for me to do it myself than for me to ask for help, for me to figure it out, for me to Google it, for me to figure it out, to problem solve myself, than to just ask someone, hey, do you have 5 minutes? I could really use help with this. Now, that's not saying don't go to Google and Google things and always call your same friend and ask the exact same things. Yes, go use Google. But if you've done that and it's not easily coming, make sure you lean on the people in your life because they're there to help you, because they're also going to lean on you and you'll be there to help them. So, when was the last time you stopped yourself from asking because of what you think someone else is going to think about you? So, do you think they're going to judge you? They're going to think that you can't do it all, that you're less than? And so you don't even ask because you're scared of what they're going to say, what they're going to think, or what they're going to do. I used to be that way. People in my life, I wouldn't ask them because I was scared. What are they going to think? Or what are they going to say? Are they going to be like, they'll do it, but then they'll moan and complain and gripe. And it's like, okay, I'm not going to ask you. I will just not ask anybody, or I will find someone else to ask. The Say Yes experience is the movement that helps you adapt to change, enhance mental wellness, and stretch into what's possible. We tailor every experience to your specific challenges and goals, whether that's preventing burnout, building resilience, or creating a culture of bold action and connection. Whether it's a getaway with your friends or creating something for small teams to an entire organization, this is where transformation begins. Say yes to growth. Say yes to a custom experience designed just for you. Let's build and develop your own Say Yes experience at jessicarector.com. This episode is sponsored by Wish you could hit pause, catch your breath, and leave the rat race behind for a while? You can. Come check out Breakspace, a global community where mid-career professionals just like you are creating life-changing breaks every day. Founded by two leading break experts, this one-of-a-kind resource is your go-to for all things career break. With hands-on coaching, dynamic courses, and genuine connection, you don't have to go at it alone. Visit gobreakspace.com to learn more and join today. When has that happened in your life? And it's also about being confident and secure in yourself to ask, because you can't control how they're going to respond or how they're going to act. And if they don't respond or act in a way that you like, just say, oh, okay, I'm good. No, I got it. And then you can go ask someone else. But don't own their response or their action. Don't own that as it has anything to do with you, because that's not about you, that's about them. So you just own what's yours to own, and that you're being brave and courageous for asking, and let them respond and react in any way that they deem fit. Now, think about the cost of doing it all, the emotional cost, the mental cost, the physical cost. You're going to easily get burned out. You're going to feel more irritable, impatient, frustrated. You feel unseen because maybe nobody's offering to help you. It also costs that time and energy and effort, meaning you're going to get things done slower. You're not going to be able to stay at this high level, like peak performing over the course of time. You're going to miss opportunities. The quality that you're giving out isn't going to be 100% because, again, you're trying to do everything and you're trying to do it fast and efficiently and effectively. And it's just not sustainable. It's just not humanly possible. So it's not about thinking I can carry it all, I can do it all. That's not where the strength lies. The strength lies in knowing that you can't carry the load, that you shouldn't have to do it all, that you're human and humans need help. So think of Olympic athletes. They train for years and years to be the best. And they also have entire support teams. They have coaches, they have physical therapists, they have parents, they have friends who are also on the team with them. They have multiple coaches, not just one coach, but they have multiple coaches and trainers and a medical team. They have all these people together to ensure that they can be their best. And the same thing is true with you. So, who's your entire support team? A work support team, a personal support team, a relationship support team, a parent support team, maybe a sports support team if you're involved in sports or your child is involved in sports, maybe a recreational support team. So, all the recreational things that you're involved in, hobby support team, the hobbies that you're involved in, maybe a dream support team, someone or people who are dreamers that you can really share your dream with, and you can support each other to really make those dreams come true and hold each other accountable step by step in order to achieve those dreams. There's lots of different types of support team. Maybe you love reading, so you have book club. They're your support team. All the different ways. So I would love for you to write down the different ways that you can get support and who are the different support teams that you need, and then who is someone in each of those support areas. And if you have a support area that doesn't have anyone, who can you ask to be your support person in that area? So think of all the different types of support that you need, and where do you need more support? Where do you need to ask for help in different areas, and who can be your go to person? Because you ask for support from them, they're going to ask for support from you, and you'll be there to support them as well. That's how it works. That's how great friendships work, right? You ask them for help, they ask you for help. Yes, you have a lot of fun and you share stories and all those things in the process as well. A great partnership asks the same way, right? You ask each other for help and you share lots of different things, but part of that support system is to be able to ask for help with your partner, kids, friendship, work coworkers. The more support that you give, the more support others are going to give to you as well. And one of the things we want most in life is to feel needed. So when you ask someone for help, you're giving the other person a gift, the chance to feel needed, trusted, valuable. I know when people ask me for help, I feel like, oh, I'm needed. Like, yes, we want to feel needed. Humans are wired for contribution. Like, our brain releases dopamine and oxytocin when we help others, literally giving us a helper's high, which is why when we help other people, it feels so good. It's not just nice to help, it literally makes us feel good inside. So, have you ever helped someone move a couch, giving them advice or dropped off a meal to them and then felt really good after, like, wow, that felt good that I helped them when they were sick, or, oh, I like that they liked my advice. All of that isn't an accident. Your brain rewards you for being useful. So the more you want to feel good, the more you need to keep helping other people. And when people ask for your help, the more you need to keep saying yes. Oftentimes, when I'm on a plane, I'll see people struggle a little bit to put up their luggage, and I always ask, how can I help? Let me help you. How can I be of service? There's a big difference also to our brains between saying, let me help you, or let me know if you need help, and how can I help? Because our brains are wired to answer questions. So, how can I help? People will say, oh, can you help me lift this up? Can I help be of service to you? Yes. People want help because they know they can't do it all themselves as well. And people in your life want that good feeling too. So when you refuse to ask for help, you're basically denying others the chance to feel good, to feel valued, and to feel needed. So when you don't let people help you, you're robbing them of that gift. So give them that good feeling gift too, and ask them for help. And they want to feel valued, appreciated, and needed too. Because when you ask them for help, you're saying to them, I trust you enough to let you in. And that's a good feeling. When someone trusts you enough to let you in, that transforms relationships. It actually builds those stronger, deeper relationships. So when someone offers to pay for something, whether it's dinner, drinks, or an event, let them. They wouldn't offer if they didn't want to do it. And you don't want to rob them of that gift. So if someone says, no, I got it, say thank you. And of course, you can always offer to get it next time, and you'll get that good feeling too. Part of not reaching out and asking for help may be something to do with control. Yes, you control freaks out there, I am talking to you. You may think, no one can do it as well as I can, or I can just do it faster than they can. So you don't want to ask for help. But meanwhile, all those things keep piling up. And even teaching someone to do something releases it out of your control, which, yes, can be scary, but they might do it in a better way. So many years ago, I asked B to make the bed. I was busy doing something else, and I asked him if he could make my bed. And he did. And when I saw the bed, I actually was like, that's not the right way to do it. He was about 5 years old at the time. But once I took a step back, I thought, the right way, the right way. A, he's 5 years old, Jessica. But B, is there a right way to make the bed? No. What he had actually done is he didn't place the pillows where I thought the pillows should be placed. I always folded the Afghan at the end of the comforter nice and neatly, and then placed the pillows, the decorative pillows, on top of the pillows that you sleep on. Well, he took a completely different approach. He laid the Afghan completely out flat over the comforter, and then he put a couple decorative pillows at the very head of the table, and then he put some at the bottom of the table because he said that way you can see them all better. Now, I never actually thought of making the bed that way, and the crazy thing is, it actually looked so much better than every other time that I'd made the bed. So here's the thing, asking someone for help, yes, they may not do something the exact same way that you would do it, they might do it better. And it also gives them the feel good feeling, but also knowing that they are valued and appreciated so much that you ask them for help. And sometimes it also saves us time, energy, and effort letting someone else do it. It can also be good learning lessons for other people. So if they do it and it's not exactly how you want it or how it should be done, then you can teach them how to do it. because you teach them how to do it, they can continue to do it indefinitely. If you never teach them to do it, you're always going to be doing it, meaning you're always going to be spending the time and the energy and the effort to do it yourself. So, yes, initially to teach them to do it may take a little bit more time, but in the long run, it's going to save you so much more time because you won't have to do it. So, if I ask for help, what if they don't fold the towels the right way? And let me tell you, B doesn't fold the towels the same way I do. But I realize it doesn't even matter because it still gets done and it saves me time where I can be doing something else that needs to get done. And let's face it, towels are not that important. He can fold them any which way he wants as long as they fit on this shelf. Because what happens? You're just going to pull that towel out, unfold it, and use it. So, does it even really matter how the towel gets folded? As long as it gets folded and gets on the shelf, and I don't have to do it. One less thing I don't have to do so I can spend my time and energy and effort doing something else. And I'm very thankful that he folds the towel. So maybe reframe how you're thinking about it instead of, they can't do it as well as I can. Well, maybe they can't. But what if they do it better? Or what if it just gets done? So you can go do something else that's more important or bigger priority. Then it's a win-win. I want you to shift from help equals weakness to help equals connection. With each helping hand, you're building a stronger connection with that person.
Hey, I'm Blaze, and the sales experience was my idea. I created it to help my mom, Jessica Rector. When she was traveling and keynote speaking a lot and on the verge of burnout, I wanted her to say yes to herself, to joy, and to what's possible. What started out with me helping her find a new ice cream around town had turned into a movement. So together we wrote this book, The Say Yes Experience, with 52 powerful tips to help you prevent burnout, strengthen your mental health, and live intentionally. Step outside your comfort zone. One tip, one small shift, one big impact. Ready to say yes to a better you? Grab the Say Yes Experience at jessicarector.com/store.
Burnout isn't just exhaustion, it's a warning sign that something needs to change. 90% of the workforce has been in burnout in the last year alone, according to Gallup, and it's not going away anytime soon. It's even impacting the home life, but it doesn't have to be that way. In my powerful book, Blaze Your Brain to Extinguish Burnout, 52 Keys to Prevent, Breakthrough, and Beat Burnout, I show you how to take back control, reignite your energy, and transform overwhelm into opportunity. Backed by research and real-life strategies, this isn't just another self-help book. It's your guide to lasting change, mental wellness, and saying yes to the life you deserve. Ready to break the burnout cycle? Grab Blaze Your Brain to Extinguish Burnout today at jessicarector.com/store. If you want to get a copy for your team or all your employees, reach out to me directly for rates at jessica@jessicarector.com. One day when I was sick, my colleague had heard about it and he sent me an Uber gift card to help me and to also give B a break from cooking because Blaze was having to cook every meal for me. Now, that same friend reached out and helped me with a major say yes experience. I'll share all about that later on in that episode. But that say yes experience I couldn't have done without him. Now, because he helped earlier when I was sick and I needed it, and he sent me that Uber gift card, which was so kind and so generous, it also built this immense connection, this level of trust that he saw me. He saw that I was sick. He saw that I needed help. He didn't even ask me. I'd never even met him before. We were just Facebook friends. And he reached out and said, "Let me help you." And that made me feel so good. It made me feel so seen. And because he didn't just want to help me, he also wanted to help Blaze because Blaze was busy taking care of me because I literally could not get off the couch. I was so sick. And so just that one thing immediately built trust with this person. And then later on, when we did this Say Yes experience, again, another level of trust. So when you're helping someone else out, you're building that stronger, deeper connection. It's an opportunity. And accepting care is a gift to both you and that person. So next time someone offers to help, someone offers to send you a meal, someone offers to send you a gift card, someone offers to take your child to the sporting event, say yes, because you're not only doing it for yourself, but you're also doing it for them. And I know a friend said when Blaze was in soccer, a friend said, well, I can take Blaze anytime you're out of town. And I thought, oh, I don't really know you. But we found out that the boys went to school together. The boys were friends. She and I became friends. We started chatting. And then there was a point that she said, I'll take the kids on Tuesday, you take them on Thursday. And it was like, oh my gosh, I didn't even know what to do with myself for those 2 hours that I didn't have to take Blaze to soccer. What am I even going to do with myself? It was the time that I desperately needed just to relax, just to unwind. And so when you're gifting that time, that help to someone else, it also could be exactly what they need that you don't even know that they need. Life is not meant to do solo. You are not weak for needing help, my friend. You're human. And when you ask someone to step in, whether it's advice, support, or just taking something off your plate, you're not just lightening your load, you're giving them a gift. You're saying, I trust you. I see you. I need you. And that kind of connection, that changes everything. No one succeeds alone. Think about it. Think about the best. The best. They have coaches, whether it's a sports coach, a business coach, therapist, life coach. They have someone guiding, supporting, and helping them. So here's your challenge. Before today ends, ask for help with one thing. It doesn't matter how small or big that one thing is. Just say yes to letting someone in. Then notice what happens, not just in you, but also in them. And be sure to subscribe and share this episode with someone who's doing too much and feeling too alone. Tag me and use hashtag Say Yes Experience when you post because I'd love to hear what you asked for and how someone showed up for you. My friend, you are not alone. I believe in you. Keep saying yes. Live more.